And now, the starting lineup for your Blue Notes podcast. Tom Franklin and the man called Wags.
Hello and welcome to Blue Notes. I am one half of your Blue Notes team, Tom Franklin, joined by my teammates, the man called Wags. And we are your home for St. Louis Blues coverage on the Hockey Podcast Network. And that includes expert analysis, whether it's at Enterprise Center.
When you're fighting for spots for the playoffs, 1 or 2 points could make the difference. And we'll be looking back at games like tonight here at Enterprise Center as lost opportunities.
Or at home.
Penalties, that was a big piece. You know, you're wearing down some of your best players because they're out on the ice for so many penalty kill opportunities. Just a complete breakdown.
Blues first round pick, Jake Neighbors.
Braden Shan texted me, and then the head coach, Craig Berube, reached out as well, and Ryan O'Reilly as well. And then the next day, on day 2 of the draft, Tarasenko FaceTimed me, so that was pretty cool. So.
And we're the only hockey podcast in the Hockey Podcast Network to have a Hawaiian hockey correspondent. The Hawaii Blues fan, Guy Bensing.
In true Dan Kelly fashion, Dan Kelly says, F you, Keaton. I know who's the starting pitcher for Game 4 of the World Series. You damn well know who the starting goalie is for Game 4 of the NHL season. And then walked away.
And we have a musician, too. Not only is he responsible for this fat beat you're listening to right now, but he has also performed absolute works of art.
And it seems to me you played the game with a candle to your rear, never wanting to leave the ice when the pain set in.
So check out Blue Notes wherever you get your podcasts from. New episodes every Monday and Thursday. I'm Tom Franklin, reminding you to not be a chump, listen to Blue Notes, and always play to the whistle.
A reminder that you can follow Blue Notes on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram at Blue Notes Pod. I'm the voice of the Blues, Tom Calhoun.
I was walking through the halls of a Minnesota rink when along came a Wild fan who started talking smack to me. He said, I bet you never liked the Blues until they won a cup. And so I calmly turned to him and said, hey man, listen up. I admit it's pretty great to win Lord Stanley's prize, but listen, I've been waiting for this moment my whole life. Yes, sir, I'm a Blues fan. Yes, sir, I'm a Blues fan. Heartbreak's all I knew, man. That team from old St. Lou, man. Got a cup in here, 52, man. Give me a Let's Go Blues. I know Jackman, Johnson, Eastwood, Backman, Waite, Walt, Hanzus, Nash, Drake, Jansen, Boys Young, Jammer King, Salvador, Correa, Brewer Lowe, Pollock, Finley, Turksania, Buganecki, Jay McKee, McDonald, Mellon, Buchanan, Kavanaugh, Mason, Manny, Stillman, Stepniak, McClement. Yes, sir, I'm a Blues fan. Yes, sir, I'm a Blues fan. Heartbreak's all I knew, man. That team from old St. Lou, man. Got a cup in year 52, man. So give me a Let's Go Blues.
And now, the starting lineup for your Blue Notes podcast. Tom Franklin and the man called Wags.
Thank you, Tom Calhoun, and hello and welcome to Blue Notes, located in the best city on the Mississippi, the best in the Midwest. We've got that Stanley Cup power, too sweet to be sour. And if you're still clueless, we are talking about St. Louis. This is your home for St. Louis Blues coverage on the Hockey Podcast Network. I am Jersey Jesus, a.k.a. Tom Franklin. I am joined by my friend, my intro to Hockey Jerseys partner, the man called Wags. And Wags, get ready for an education today because we've got the Jersey Finder coming on the show today for a very special episode of Blue Notes.
I'm very excited. I'm really just kind of gonna sit back and absorb everything because I'm a newbie when it comes to collecting jerseys or even really just buying jerseys. And I know this is your territory. I mean, Jersey Jesus for a reason. I'm looking to become a jersey disciple and start my collection. So I'm very interested for this conversation.
All right, Wags the Baptist it is then. But yeah, by the way, I say Jersey Jesus not to be blasphemous or anything like that. That was a moniker bestowed on me by Mason Dixon of the Habs Nightly podcast in our own personal Slack, because I always talk about hockey jerseys. Everyone that knows me knows I have a large hockey jersey collection. I have over 110 jerseys. And when I get a couple deliveries this week, I will have completed a 31 for 31 collection with at least 2 for each team. That is how nuts I am about hockey jerseys. And I'm so glad we're going to have the Jersey Finder on, if for nothing else, Wags, but to have someone that understands this obsession of mine. And at the same time, also educates listeners and viewers like you, watching and listening right now, who may not know, the process of buying a hockey jersey, who may only think NHL Shop or the team store is the only place to get a legit jersey. And those of you who think Chinese knockoff jerseys are an actual legit option, stop it. Stop it. You're literally funding terrorism when you buy Chinese jerseys. Do you want that on your conscience just so you can save a few bucks on a jersey? Come on, people.
No, not at all. And, I'm one of those people that, I want to be 100% sure what I'm getting is legit, authentic, and of good quality. So my go-to source for the few jerseys that I have bought has been stuff like NHL.com and NHL Shop, where you're not really sure if you're getting the best value. But I'm not one that's going to be able to go to eBay or some of these other sites and really have that eye for telling what's good and what a good deal is. So I'm really looking forward to figuring out the process and how I can become a better, more thrifty jersey shopper.
And there are ways to do that, and the Jersey Finder will explain all that in our conversation coming up here. By the way, if you're looking for actual St. Louis Blues content, we're going to hold off on that just because we want this is a special interview, and we want to do something special for you, and just, maybe the Blues lost Tuesday against the Coyotes, and we want to take our mind off things a little bit. That's quite possible. If there's any breaking news, I'll edit it into the show at that point where I paused. If there isn't anything there, then there just wasn't anything really, worth to talk about. And then we'll see you again on Sunday and Monday for our next episode. But in the meantime, without further ado, let's get into it. So you want to buy a hockey jersey? We have got the one, the only, the Jersey Finder to join us here this week on Bluenotes.
It's the Bluenotes Face-Off of the Week.
And that beautiful NHL 94 music means it is time for our Bluenotes Face-Off of the Week. And it's a special one this week, as I mentioned. We are talking about these hockey jerseys. For the record, I am repping my Jordan Binnington, customized by Leap Sports here in St. Louis with the Stanley Cup champion patch. Wags has his clown jersey with the Robert Thomas customized on his. And we, of course, are joined by a man that knows these jerseys and so many jerseys all too well. He is known as the Jersey Finder. Some people even call him David. How's it going, David?
Tom, Wags, thank you for having me on the show. Really appreciate it.
Yeah, absolutely. And I wanted to really kind of pick your brain here because of us two, I'm a real, I guess, savant for hockey jerseys. It started as a hobby for me, just to, people collect stamps and baseball cards. I thought, well, I'll collect hockey jerseys because why not? And I love hockey jerseys. I love the art. I love the fact that each jersey kind of tells a bit of a history, with them, no matter what team, you're buying for. And so that's how I got into, the hockey jersey collecting craze, if you will. What got you into hockey jerseys? What got you into becoming the Jersey Finder?
Like you said, the art and history has always fascinated me. I got into collecting in the summer of 2016 during the Reebok Adidas changeover.
Yep.
I went into the NHL store with a good buddy of mine, Drake LaFata, and we saw everything being cleared out, and we started getting deals for ourselves. We got a couple. We had no idea how good of the deals we were getting on Indo Edge jerseys, on Premiers, on everything. And I wish to this day we had gone in a couple of days earlier and just fully raided that store. But we saw all of these incredible deals popping up on eBay. And I wear a size small jersey. He wears a size extra large jersey. And I was finding deals for sizes everywhere in between, mediums, larges, 2XLs, 3XLs, that would sit for days, weeks on end. And I thought to myself, is no one posting these? Is no one broadcasting these out to the world? Is no one letting the community take advantage of these deals? And on a very cold January afternoon in my junior year of college, I started up this random Twitter account with kind of the altruistic goal of posting these jerseys out for everyone. And it has been an absolute wild ride from there.
Yeah, and your story sounds similar to mine in that I started collecting jerseys around 2017, so it was kind of on the tail end of the switchover. The switchover had happened, but there was still a lot of premieres out there, and I think Retro to Heritage on eBay stocked most of my closet, during those months. I mean, because they had all sorts of premieres, and that's what I started out with mostly is premieres, because I like the quality of them, and they were really affordable. For a replica, I rate premieres pretty well. The only issue is that they get kind of dusty and dirty. They're kind of dust magnets. So you have to kind of really make sure you keep on top of keeping them clean. But at the time, I was pretty ignorant to buying jerseys. When I started buying jerseys, I only had Gretzky, right up here, and then I had a Coho Keith Tkachuk from the mid 2000s from the Blues. And so I remember I was living in Fort Wayne at the time. I walked into the Comets team store of the ECHL team and got a CCM Spaceman jersey. It's orange. It's one of my favorite jerseys that I have. And it just kind of snowballed from there. It's like, man, these jerseys are cool. I want to collect them. And they're so cheap now. They're so available. But yet I felt like I was missing out on deals just because I didn't know where to look. And so I could have used your services back then to help fill my my closet drawer, especially because it feels like after that switchover, we've kind of fallen into a bit of a dark time for buying hockey jerseys because Fanatics owns everything.
If you could just play like the Evil Empire theme from Star Wars right about now, it would be so appropriate. I have gone on rant after rant after rant of this monolith, trying to find the correct words to describe my
you can
feelings
swear
towards this entity.
You can swear on this podcast.
I can't.
There's no restrictions.
That
Drop
changes
the
things
bombs
entirely.
Drop the bombs. Go ahead.
It is a nightmare dealing with a company that so blatantly charges an incredible retail markup for what is essentially a sweatshirt.
Not even a sweatshirt. It doesn't keep you warm. It doesn't keep you warm.
No, thin as hell. Everything peels off. The quality control is non-existent. It is so infuriating to see how Adidas and Fanatics have taken what was such an integral product to hockey jersey fans everywhere. And I like to say it's with the reverse retro drops, it's kind of been streetwearified with the artificial scarcity and what you've seen on eBay with the immediate $600 reverse retro jerseys that, had they not had that sort of demand, would have wound up at Ross stores for $6. So it's so frustrating to me. And part of the reason I had started the account in the first place was that I was a broke college student and I couldn't go out and afford those retail jersey prices. And I wanted to help other kids my age find quality, authentic jersey deals at those reasonable prices. I had been, and it's something that I'm not proud to share, but something that's a part of my collecting history, is that I had purchased a fake jersey on eBay and worn it for a year and a half, not knowing. This was well before I got into it, and I stumbled into our hockey jerseys, and I started realizing the importance of wearing legitimate jerseys and what it means to not support those illegitimate business practices overseas and keep things local and find those incredible deals. And it kind of snowballed from there. And I didn't want other people, because I saw so many college kids just take this attitude of, it's a $20 jersey, I can go drink in it. It's fake, whatever.
Yeah, and they're total trash. I mean,
It's
for
so
us
bad.
for us collectors, whenever we go to Blues games, and we can spot the fakes
Mhm,
so
mhm.
easily, and it's so blatant. It's like, dude, this guy's a cheap ass. You know, I
You
mean,
walk
you
through the
just tell.
concourse. You
Yeah,
walk through the concourse, and it's like fake, fake, fake.
Yeah.
Maybe real, fake, fake, fake. It's so disappointing to see.
But I feel we have the fake jersey industry that we do because people feel like they can't afford a jersey when they go on NHLshop.com and see that their jersey with a player is going to be like $200 plus, or a Fanatics if you want to get the cheaper route. You know, as you said, the retail markup on those are just ridiculous. Like $150 new for a Fanatics. I mean, I have some Fanatics in my closet. Okay, I have over 110 jerseys, and when I get a couple deliveries this week, I will have 2 jerseys for each NHL team minimum.
Incredible.
Humble brag. But I will admit I have some Fanatics in my closet. The only reason I have them though is because I got them at a severe markdown. Like they were traded players. Like I made sure, because as a Blues fan, I got a Torrey Krug Boston Bruins after he was traded, and I got that from Dick's for like I think $35. Same thing with Braden Holtby. Same thing, and then NHL Shop had these really cheap Taylor Hall Devils jerseys.
I remember you might have gotten that one for me, honestly. I think because I posted that huge Fanatics blowout.
In fact, I commented that. I think you tipped me off on that. You
Yeah.
tipped me off on that, and then and I initially got the Fanatics, and then I was like, wait a second, I can get an Adidas for about the same price now. So I ended up punting the Fanatics over to my friend Bayou Benders, who's in the Hockey Podcast Network. And I mean, I cut him a deal, but still, and then I used that fund to get the Adidas version. So we've already covered a lot of ground. We'll talk a little bit more about Chinese, fakes a little bit later on here. But I also should note that among the deliveries I'm getting, in fact, it should be coming any moment now as I'm recording this, I'll be getting a blue Quebec Joe Sakic CCM jersey today from you, or I don't think it's from you. I think it's from one of your partners actually, but it's from thejerseyfinder.com.
Correct.
That's something of a grail for me because it completes the holy trinity of Quebec, Colorado great centers with my white Quebec Forsberg and my reverse retro Nate McKinnon. So do you ever knowing how the Adidas and Fanatics has taken over the jersey world and knowing how they've artificially inflated the prices of jerseys, do you ever get kind of a warm and fuzzy feeling when you're able to find someone's holy grail like that?
All the time. Tom, you have no idea how much joy it brings me. When I see people posting the TJF mail day, it is the satisfaction of knowing that some people have spent years and years and years hunting for jerseys, and to stumble upon one of my posts and just be able to buy it at a deal is so satisfying for me. To know that it's collections, to know that it's childhoods, to know that it's everything in between being fulfilled by my effort is so incredibly satisfying. And I've had personal messages, photos, you name it, of people thanking me. It has been a wonderful experience seeing those.
Yeah, one thing I always tell people looking to buy hockey jerseys is never buy at retail, because you can always find a deal somewhere and you're going to get probably ripped off on retail. One recent exception to that, while we're talking about childhood memories and warm and fuzzy feelings, I went ahead and splurged for a Vancouver Canucks Pavel Bure jersey with the skate logo, and it had the 1994 Stanley Cup Final patch on it. And I got it from Hockey Authentic, and I paid, their retail price. And I realized, I was a little hesitant to do that. But then I got the jersey, and just like I was holding my childhood in my hands, and I also got a Yager that week as well from White Pittsburgh jersey as well. And that's like, this is like, I played Pittsburgh on NHL 94. That was my go-to team. And it's because of Lemieux and Yager were just so killer on that game. And it's just, I'm kind of on a vintage kick right now, just because I love the fact that I could still kind of go back to my childhood and have the jerseys of these former stars of yore. I think it's a great thing.
Yeah, for sure. And sellers like Hockey Authentic are incredible resources for buyers to go to. If you're looking to get kind of that true quality, but pay a little bit closer to retail, guys like Hockey Authentic, guys like Ben H Sports
Yes, my dealer.
Oh, they're incredible to go to. If you're not looking to spend the time to hunt on eBay over the course of weeks, months, years, those are guys that I would absolutely put a stamp on to say, go source your jerseys from there if you can.
And I've gotten jerseys customized from Hockey Authentic, Cool Hockey, Ice jerseys, rest in peace.
Oh, man. Forums.
I will say, if you're looking to get just my personal recommendation, you can echo or counter. But my recommendation, if you're looking to get a jersey that's customized, I think really Hockey Authentic might be your best bet, because they do fair pricing for their retail jerseys, but their customization work, I think, edges out Cool Hockey. What do you think?
I would agree on that. I think I would say if you're going for a tier list in customization, I'd say a third would be Cool Hockey, just because I've seen too many times on the hockey jersey subreddit, there can be some sloppy mistakes that they make with customization. There was just a post, I think, with a reverse retro Matthews jersey that was just completely wrong.
Yeah.
And it's kind of garnered just an interesting reputation on the subreddit. Hockey Authentic is absolutely a great source. And then I think the GOAT when it comes to customization is going to be Exclusive Pro Sports.
Bingo.
That they are so good, and their decades of experience within the industry speaks for themselves.
Yeah, I went through Exclusive Pro a couple of times, and for one, you're going to pay a little bit of a premium with them, and it's also going to take a little while, but the quality is freaking phenomenal. Like I've had a couple jerseys done for them. I had a Pittsburgh Miroslav Shatan made by them because I want a jersey that says Satan on it, LOL. And then I'm very careful to wear that one in public, by the way.
Yeah, it's so funny you bring that up. I have a Shatan Buffalo jersey that I've worn once because I wore it out. I wore it out for we have what's called Fest season at Ohio University, and I wore it out, and I had people screaming Satan at me across the street, and then I was like, I'm just gonna put this one in the closet until I go to Buffalo.
I will wear that. I don't do like the dress up for Halloween thing anymore, but I will wear that for Halloween. That's like the only time I really feel safe wearing that jersey. The other jersey I had done through them, this is kind of a funny jersey story. So I was in search for a Nashville Mustard Cat jersey, which was the really ugly yellow jersey they had with like the Predator that was like on meth, basically.
Oh yeah.
And yeah, it is one of those jerseys that collectors like to get, and you can pay a little bit of a premium for those if you find them. I found one that was in a goalie cut, and the back of the jersey, it was a number 76, and the guy had his own name put on it. His name was Wicker, and and so he had it on sale on eBay for $45. And it was just sitting there, and it was sitting there, and it was sitting there. The reason it was sitting there is because for some stupid reason, he signed his own name on one of the numbers.
What?
Yeah, he actually, it was like, apparently it was some sort of inside joke, among him and his friends, I guess. But what he ended up doing was knocking off some serious value on that jersey. Well, I bought it because, when in Rome, and I had it sent to Exclusive Pro, and I said, hey, see if you can strip these numbers off, the names off, and I'll make it into a Tomas Vokoun. Well, apparently the heat the heat press on it was so bad that the only possible number I can get for it was another 76 because there was such staining on it so bad. So now I have a PK Subban Mustard Cat jersey. Which, by the way, is not a jersey foul because he Instagrammed a photo of himself wearing a Subban Mustard Cat. So I got
a Coho Subban Mustard Cat. You serious?
Yes.
Oh my God.
I'm serious. Yes, absolutely, absolutely. And it's one of my it's I love that jersey just because of the story that it has behind it. Really, I'm not even a Nashville fan. In fact, I hate Nashville. But respect where it's due. It's a neat jersey. So one final question before we kind of get into how what you should be looking for when you buy a jersey. What was your first hockey jersey? Like I mentioned before we started here, mine was the Wayne Gretzky from when he was a Blue, and then he left like a week or two after I got it customized, of course. So I've always kind of cherished that jersey. What was your first jersey?
My first jersey is a Mike Richter white Lady Liberty jersey.
Ooh, a white Lady Liberty.
That I had gotten when I went to the Garden probably for the second time or so. I have been like a born and raised New York Rangers fan. Like Madison Square Garden is a second home to me at this point. Grandparents have been season ticket holders for give or take 45 plus years now at this point. So it is kind of a huge part of my family. So I wore that Richter jersey for as long as I possibly could.
Sure.
The entire shoulders are just full of signatures, still have it. And it's so funny you bring that up that I got a white Lady Liberty blank jersey in a Secret Santa that's now an adult size. So I will be sending that to Exclusive Pro Sports to go full circle and bring it back so I can sit back in those same seats of the Garden, having started out in that white Liberty jersey and continuing to wear that white Liberty jersey.
That's why I love hockey jerseys, Wags. I mean, the stories and the histories behind them. It's like collecting art, and then you look at that art and try to interpret, what it means, and you feel the history of the jerseys. Stories like that, I love. Wags, what was your first jersey?
It's actually this Coho one right behind me, this Blues one. It was a birthday present back when I was in my mid-teens. Didn't have a lot of money growing up, so just like you guys, hockey jerseys just weren't something we were able to get. But that's my first one. That's why it's hanging behind me. I've got some signatures on it as well. No one of like super big notes. I think like Christian Backman's on there. Yeah, that's the name drop of the day, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, that's my first one. I like I said, this is like my jersey collection right behind me. I don't have as many as you, Tom. And it's fun just listening to you guys geek out over this because I'm a Star Wars fan, so I geek out over Star Wars, so I get it. But for me, it's, I want to get into this kind of collecting things, and I want to be like you guys. So what's the first rule that you have for buying a hockey jersey for someone like me who doesn't really know the process of it?
I would say your best bet, if you're playing it safe, is to go through a trusted seller. If you want to go full safe, like we mentioned, go through a Hockey Authentic, go through a Ben H Sports, try Dick's if it's on sale, on sale, because their customization is factory customization, which means that it's not like a true stitching. That's why you see it on sale so often. I'll get into the whole Adidas quality control later down the line. But when you're going through eBay, there are a whole bunch of telltale signs that you can be aware of. When it comes to the listing itself, first of all, check the item location. If it's shipping from China, don't buy the jersey. If it's shipping from just USA in all caps with no city location, don't buy the jersey. If it is way too good to be true and has only stock images and then an Adidas jersey selling at $40 with free shipping, it is going to be too good to be true. When it comes to the actual jersey itself, key indicators when you're looking at an Adidas jersey, you want to look at what's called drop stitching on the actual Adidas logo itself. When you're looking at a real Adidas jersey, there are no individual bits of thread in between the letters themselves on an Adidas jersey. Wags, if you turn your jersey around, you can see that it is a complete, full, clean stitch. That is one of the key indicators. If the NHL shield looks like it's been pin the tail on the donkey on on your collar, then it is not an authentic jersey. If you are trying to purchase a reverse retro jersey that has the quote unquote Adidas button on it, it is immediately a fake jersey. That is something that Adidas introduced for the first year of production and then got rid of after. And fake sellers have not caught up yet that they're not on the jerseys anymore. Anything post, and correct me if I'm wrong on this, post 2019 that does not say Aero Ready on the inside neck is going to be a fake jersey. So something like the brand new Dallas jerseys, if it doesn't say Aero Ready on the inside, is not going to be an authentic jersey. I'm trying to think of anything else. Bubbly crest, bubbly numbers.
Yes.
That is
Telltale.
Telltale. If it looks, and I will say Adidas is venturing into that territory with their own quality control.
Yeah.
But if it looks like it's been ran through a dryer, it's not authentic for sure. The other thing that you can do is, honestly, if you're having doubts, just Google the jersey itself and then the player and compare it to what they wore on ice. If it seems like there's noticeable differences, no go.
Yeah, I recently got an Adidas Anaheim Ducks jersey. That was it wasn't like the full eggplant, but it was like the tribute, where it had like the purple on the sleeve, but it was all black.
Yes.
And I couldn't help but notice when I saw the crest for that, how bubbly it looked. In fact, I think someone on your Discord actually got a jersey like that, or at least found one and noticed how bubbly it was. And it turns out it's legit, but it's just, where's the quality control?
It's just super disappointing to see how far the standard of quality has fallen from when you compare CCM and Coho replicas to what we're getting today. And I think I've discussed it with PV jerseys, Nolan Dwyer, how we're kind of speculating how there might be a lost generation of hockey jersey collectors post this one, because the Adidas jerseys are not going to stand the test of time, because it is so challenging to find ones that are used, that have factory customization, that are not wrinkly as all hell.
Yeah, that is a problem. And by the way, you mentioned the Adidas and the stitching on the back. One of my first jerseys I got was a Vegas Golden Knights James Neal, and I got it from eBay. Mm-hmm. It looked, to my, not knowing any better, it looked fine to me. I mean, the crest looked fine, the numbering looked fine, but when I got it, the Adidas logo looked like it was just, there was stitching everywhere, for one. And then the other thing that I noticed about it is when I looked inside and looked behind the crest, there was cardboard, or like a cardboard material to keep the crest in place. And I'm like, wait a second, hockey jerseys don't have cardboard, crest sewn into cardboard. What is this?
Yeah, no, it's super disappointing to see how far it's fallen with that lack of quality control.
Well, and Tom, you said you got the eBay jersey. If you do go that eBay route, what are some tips for people to make sure they don't get scammed into buying either a bad or fake jersey? I mean, you've seen the visual things, but are there other clues that you can garner to not get taken on eBay?
If it is exclusively stock photos, message the seller and have them send photos to you. That is the best suggestion that I can make. Oftentimes, and I'll say this with my own experience, I purchased a Washington Capitals reverse retro jersey that I had a strong suspicion was going to be fake, because he had posted kind of one singular grainy photo, and I messaged him asking if it was truly authentic. He couldn't give me back the photos. I wound up purchasing it. I get it in. It's fake. I ask for a refund. I get the refund. He asked me to send it back. I don't. He asked me why. I say, because I'm not letting you sell this again for more, because that's exactly what he was doing with more jerseys on his page. So that one went in the kindling. But that's my best suggestion, is just trying to be vigilant and make sure that you can verify what you're getting is as close as possible. The other thing that I would recommend, and let me make sure that I have the link correct, is legitcheck.thedjocker.net. Now Liberty Bell jerseys, Matt Goldman, who is the head of the R Hockey Jerseys subreddit, has maintained an incredible resource where you can go step by step. And given the conditions of the jersey that you're looking at, can like flow chart your way through the legit check process. That is an incredible tool for newcomers to the hobby to make sure that what they're purchasing is authentic.
That's really good to know because, I'm still trying to get into this. Now we've seen, let's just say, some very interesting jerseys out on Twitter, jersey files and stuff. A lot of them have come from China. Explain why buying Chinese knockoffs is a terrible idea. I mean, your money essentially goes to some shady sources for one, right?
Yeah, it is a matter of just kind of being taken by money that's flowing into organized crime, money that's flowing into dark sources. You're preventing money from flowing into the league. You're preventing money from flowing into the Players Association. It is just a real disappointment to see that just because individuals want a slightly lower price, they will go that route. It is there have been a whole bunch of documentaries and exposés about where the money is going, that it's just so not worth it to go that route.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's, I remember watching a hockey guy disclaimer about that. He's a big jersey collector, and he was mentioning that a lot of your money, goes to those shady sources, and you never truly know where it goes. And it's just like, not only do you get shamed for wearing an obvious knockoff, at Blues games, but you also probably just funded terror as well. So congratulations on that. So we've talked a lot about the different types of jerseys. We mentioned the Adidas and the Fanatics a lot, but of course, when you're, buying jerseys throughout the decades, you could be running into a CCM, a Coho. We mentioned that a couple of times. Like Gretzky's a starter, for instance. There's Pro Player, which we can talk about just by itself. Reebok, Adidas, Fanatics. So what is, of all the jersey makers and the brands and the types of jerseys, what is your favorite jersey maker of all time?
Personal favorite, just based on fit, based on size, because I wear a 46, is a Reebok Indo Edge.
Okay.
And I know that's going to be an interesting take, but I have always been a fan of how the Reebok jerseys fit. I am a huge fan of rocking Reebok Premiers. And then I like to compare the Indo Edges as a perfect Goldilocks for me, because you've got a quality fight strap, you've got a little bit higher quality material and stitching than your Reebok Premier. But when you wear the Reebok Edge 2.0s in a 46, the arms are huge. If you're not wearing them for on ice purposes, and that's kind of the happy medium, honestly.
Yeah, and I have a couple of those. In fact, actually, one of them is a Ryan O'Reilly Buffalo Sabres jersey that I bought from a disgruntled Sabres fan after he was traded to St. Louis. It was off the hockey jersey subreddit, and I got a good deal on it because he was disgruntled, as I mentioned. Mm-hmm. But like one thing I've noticed about those jerseys, and this is kind of key for me because I'm a bigger guy, I usually wear a size 60 or a 58, for instance. If it's like a game worn or a team issued, I can do those, no problem. I've noticed with the Indo Edges, like Adidas gets a lot of flack because they're kind of slimming, like this is an Adidas and it's a little snug. I noticed the Indo Edges, while they're great quality, the numbering is great, the stitching is great, the crest is great, I find they fit a bit snug. Have you found that?
Personally, and I think this is where we differ, Tom, is that you kind of like the boxier cut of jerseys. Yes. I'm a little bit more of like the not form fitting, but not huge 90, not the huge 90 styles of jersey. And I think that's why I like the Reebok style so much, is that they slimmed it down from the CCM to Coho. And I'm a little bit of a smaller guy. I don't really have the arms to fill out a giant CCM jersey or anything like that. And I don't usually like my clothes too baggy regardless. That's why I'm a personal fan of the Indo Edge.
Sure, that's fair. That's fair. And thankfully with these Adidas, I mean, even though this is a size 60, the sleeves on them come to like the perfect point. So
Mhm.
it does work. And I wasn't a big fan of the Adidas when I was starting collecting just because of the way they fit. But they've kind of grown on me, and I think they're for an authentic. I kind of put them as tier wise somewhere between a Premier and an Indo Edge.
Yeah.
In terms of quality, like it's not bad quality at all. The numberings, and is usually fine on them. The crests are fine on them. Even like the NHL logo is silver versus if you get a Fanatics, it's kind of a
flat.
kind of flat gray blah. But so we've been talking a lot about authentics and replicas. Say someone's looking to get a jersey and they have their choice of an authentic or a replica. Explain some of the differences between the two.
You want to talk about a huge difference in the quality of fabric, in the quality of stitching, in the attention to detail on specific parts of the jersey. It is a different weight. It is a different consistency. It truly, in certain ones, it gives you almost that feel of you're wearing something, the knowledge that you're wearing something that could be worn by a player on ice. And it's a really cool feeling. Even when it comes to like wearing a Premier versus an on ice authentic to like Stick and Puck or something like that. I've seen Fanatics jerseys, Adidas Authentics jerseys tear. When guys are playing because they just can't hold it, and they're made for fan replica. They're made for wearing to a game. These on ice authentic jerseys can stand the test. They kick ass. Seriously. They're incredible quality.
Yeah, and I definitely concur with you on that. I remember when the hockey guy on YouTube got his first Vegas jerseys. That was his first Fanatics jersey that he got. And he did a comparison when he got an authentic Vegas jersey. And like one thing he noticed was like the crest, for instance, like on the Adidas was layered, whereas, on the Fanatics, it was just like one single, flat layer. The weird crest with the Fanatics that you can fold and bend, and it doesn't really ever do anything, which, by the way, if you ever get an authentic jersey, by the way, or a jersey that you truly care about, don't just throw it in the wash on fast spin and then, throw it in the dryer afterwards. No.
Never.
And I learned that the hard way with a couple jerseys. Unfortunately, you always turn them inside out. And if you have to wash them, wash them on a slow cycle, permanent press, and then air dry them.
Yep. That's how you destroy crests. That's how you destroy the jerseys that you care about. Exactly what you're saying, Tom.
And that's also how you get some numbers starting to peel as well. I have a friend of mine that has the Jay Bowmeister Blues jersey where the like the name bar and the numbers on the name bar are starting to fall off. And he's like, "Oh, I just throw them in the wash and dryer all the time." He's like, "Oh, Tim, don't do that."
That's why, because you're not doing it right.
Tim, no. I've said that to him a couple times, and it's about various things. Tim, no. But anyway, so we've talked a lot about Fanatics, and first of all, I will say, we kind of talked about one reason you could get a Fanatics, and that is if it's severely marked down. If you get one for like $40-$50 tops, they're not bad. They're not bad at that price, and I think and for me, sometimes there's situations where like St. Louis gets really hot and muggy. Maybe I don't want a heavy jersey to wear. Maybe I'll throw on the Fanatics, which is lighter and tends to breathe a little better. Like I imagine Fanatics probably sells very well in Vegas.
Yeah.
Because, if you're going to a Golden Knights game in April or May and it's 100 degrees outside, maybe the Adidas Authentic is not the best idea for that kind of a day.
No, definitely not.
But, in your opinion, I mean, we're not saying don't 100% avoid Fanatics, but maybe at a severe discount, and with the knowledge that you're getting an inferior product, but maybe it's more practical to your needs. It's not the worst thing in the world.
Buy with discretion. Buy when there's a markdown. Buy when the jersey is less than give or take $55 at an absolute most. But I would. It depends. Like if you want to really stretch for something, I know that it can be challenging to find certain kind of like depth players on like on Adidas authentic jerseys. If you can find it on a Fanatics, there's nothing wrong with splurging if that's your choice. I would absolutely strongly advise against going for them at the full retail markup.
Now let's talk about Adidas, the authentic, option for jerseys nowadays. And you kind of touched on it a little bit, how they are not standing up to the test of time very well.
No.
Where would you rank them in terms of authentic jerseys of all time? Like, I have them below Coho and Reebok personally. They've kind of grown on me over the years a little bit, but I acknowledge at the same time they are not very durable.
Quick 2-second point, because it kind of ties into this. I respect the hell out of, but so despise what Adidas has done to con the NHL consumer into believing that an Adidas authentic jersey is on ice authentic by utilizing that word authentic. It is so nowhere near the quality of the Made in Canada jerseys that it's ridiculous. If you want to charge that sort of price for closer to a Made in Canada jersey, what the retail price is on an Adidas authentic, I can understand that. But the fact that Adidas, and I'm putting it, I know I'm off camera, but I'm putting it in air quotes, authentic jerseys are going to Ross and selling for $20 is indicative of the true quality, what these authentic jerseys are actually like. So I
was going to say, I haven't been able to find any of those jerseys here at the Ross stores here in St. Louis, but I live in a pretty densely urban area. Wags, you may have to make a run to Ross for me sometime in the next week or so, because I've been wanting to find these mythical $20 Addy Zero jerseys.
You'll see them popping up on eBay.
Yeah, they're interesting to say the least, and yeah, it's the whole, what they're doing to the market just absolutely sucks. Talking about favorite jerseys of all time earlier, my current favorite line of replicas that, I know when I talked to you earlier, I said Pro Player hands down.
Mm-hmm.
I have them in a tie with the CCM vintage hockey line, just for that nostalgia factor and the fact that the CCMs kind of feel like a hockey jersey should. Like, even the vintage line, even though it's more polyester, it still has a jersey, like a true hockey jersey look and feel for me. And then, like, the CCMs that they, from like the early 2000s, and when they were actually the replica at the time, I think they're very good quality. Pro Players are always, going to be right up there with me. And for those who don't know Pro Players, Pro Player was around for a very short time. Like, you may remember Pro Players Stadium, where the Marlins used to play in Miami. Well, that went away pretty quickly. And that's because Pro Player was Fruit of the Loom. And that was their attempt to make hockey jerseys, and actually really jerseys for all sports. Their hockey jerseys, their replicas, are the best. You know what? I like the CCM vintage jersey lines, but if you're talking about pure quality, Pro Players for replicas, you cannot beat a Pro Player. It's a thick material. Yep. You could wear that as a sweatshirt. It's that thick. But the numbering, the crest, everything is, I would probably put it on par or better than an Adidas Authentic now. Undoubtedly.
I think if I had to describe Pro Player jerseys in one word, it's just comfy. Yes. They're so nice, and it is a satisfying feeling. Yeah, they're massive. It is a satisfying feeling when you have a Pro Player jersey on. Seriously.
Absolutely. And as I said, I wear a size 60, which is like a 3X/4X. Mm-hmm. I can wear a Pro Player 2X, and the thing is like hanging off of me. That's how big a Pro Player is. So one of my favorite things to do, besides finding vintage jerseys, is I like just going on eBay and searching Pro Player hockey jersey and just seeing what's out there, because they are that good of a quality of jersey. And, I can wear multiple sizes of it too, which is kind of neat. So, but one thing we touched on is CCMs. I was going to bring this up as well, because, you got all this knowledge from listening to us and researching hockey jerseys yourself. You go on eBay, you search for a CCM jersey, and you find either the vintage line or you find the CCM, I think 500s or 550s, the ones from the early 2000s. not all CCMs are alike. Can you explain the differences?
It comes down to their construction. It comes down to the length of the body. It comes down to the length of the actual sleeves itself. I would say that your best source for identifying the differences between the different years are going to be one of two things: is the incredible amount of information within hockey jersey forums. Guys like LAK84, who is just like a prolific user, has done an incredible job detailing the differences between the styles. And then let me make sure I got the author's name correct, Chris DeLorme, who has published the history of the hockey jersey from 1983. So good. PV Jerseys bought it for me as a birthday gift, and it's one of the best birthday gifts I've ever gotten. It has stayed on my desk for every single day since. It is a great book to look through for the pictures and just for the wealth of information that it offers. Chris published a masterpiece with this book.
Yeah, it's definitely on my list. That and the George LaRocque biography. I need to get that into my collection as well. He, by the way, this is like the 22nd anniversary that they were recording this, that he fought Tony Twist. You know, and actually LaRocque, I actually got the best of Twist, which is very rare to say because Twist beat the shit out of everyone back in his day. But I digress. Another reason I like the CCM vintage line, at least the ones that I've encountered, they're made in Canada.
Yes. They
are made in Canada, which means you're getting the good shit. If it says made in Canada, it's quality, it's good. You mentioned the Adidas, yeah. if you buy an Adidas Indo, they call them, they're made in Indonesia. They're not the on ice quality, but a made in Canada. Mm-hmm. That is what the players wear, but they're kind of hard to find, aren't they?
Very, very hard to find. Adidas has kind of created this interesting position in the market where hardcore collectors really, really want the made in Canada jerseys, but they are not available unless you're purchasing game worn ones. So for someone who wears a size like 46 Adidas, I will never be able to purchase a made in Canada Adidas 46 because no NHL player is that small.
Nope.
So the lowest I've seen it go is a 52. And even then, there's no shot I could fit in that. So it's a real bummer for hardcore fans who want that true quality versus your casual consumer who is more than willing to drop $250 for little Timmy.
And here in 2021, really your only options for getting made in Canada's are either A, someone selling one, or B, an equipment sale.
Or Maigret.
Yes.
Or Maigret. And that's your only option, which is a real disappointment because if you're not with the equipment sales, if you're not a part of the season ticket holders that get a chance to get everything first and then it all gets scooped up and then sold on the secondary market, you're going to miss out on the really, really great stuff. So it's just a real disappointing situation for hardcore collectors.
Well, if there's one small byproduct of this, and I think you can relate here, is that the scarcity or the artificial scarcity of Adidas and Fanatics right now has kind of made it so that hunting for these jerseys is like you're on the hunt. I come from a family of thrift store shoppers and back alley dumpster divers. Mm-hmm. So you're really crawling nook and cranny to find these grails. And for me, it's, when I do these eBay deep dives, or if I check, Ben H Sports, or, check Sports K or Hockey Authentic, for me, part of the thrill of collecting jerseys is the thrill of the hunt. And I suspect that's the reason why you're into it as well.
Yeah, absolutely. It's why I was at my peak spending hours and hours and hours a day in the middle of classes at every waking moment looking for jerseys for not only myself, but for the rest of the community.
Well, I know you got to take off here in a little bit, but first things first, big reason we have you on today is because, you don't just have your Twitter account now, which you can plug that as well. You don't just have a Discord, which is a very helpful source of information that I've discovered in the last week or so. You have a new website for selling your jerseys. Tell us about it.
Correct. So it's been something that I've been kicking the tires on for about a year or so now, and I wish I had started it a year or so when the market was in a little bit of a better situation. But right now, it's a combination of my inventory. It's a combination of GTAC 13 jerseys inventory, PV jerseys inventory, and then B-Lego 52's inventory, who is colloquially known as Shithawks jerseys. I got a lot of questions about that from my family. They were like, was that a typo on your slate? And I was like, nope. And nope, that's his name. His money is green. He is Shithawks jerseys. So he, all of us have kind of come together to provide a little bit more of a streamlined experience for buyers looking to check out. We would all run individual sale days, but it would be an absolute hassle trying to get through direct messages. I wanted to try and create a platform for all of us, myself included, to have like a centralized location for all of our jerseys, kind of a repository for people to go back on. Once the sale posts were done, they would just kind of sit. And now you've got a place where you can really, really go back to and look for them. I spent a lot of time trying to flesh out the website from a navigation standpoint so that every single way that you can filter a jersey is available to go through, whether that's by team, whether that's by brand, by price, by era, by a customized collection. Like your NHL, like I made a collection for the NHL 100, agitators, goons, and enforcers, special event jerseys, just kind of a hockey jersey collector's dream to just go through and see all of this possible inventory 100% authentic 100% of the time, to avoid all of those fakes that are coming in from a platform like eBay that's encouraging those because they just want to take the money on an affiliate basis.
And sorting by size is how I found GTAC's Joe Sakic jersey, which I think might be arriving as we speak down the stairs. So I'll get that here in just a little bit. But I want to thank you for coming on, Jersey Finder. Real quick, if anyone wants to find you on social media, where can they find you? Yeah, so it's on Twitter at the Jersey Finder, on Instagram at the Jersey Finder, and then thejerseyfinder.com. All right, Wags, are you ready to buy some hockey jerseys?
I'm ready to go bankrupt.
All right, let's do it. This guy got a promotion, by the way, this week. So he's got some money to burn. So you can spend it on worse places than the Jersey Finder. Trust me. So I've been trying to get him hooked up with Ben H Sports, by the way, as well. He's my dealer, for jerseys. And we say Ben H Sports a lot just because not only does he always sell good quality, but they're cheap. They're marked down. I don't think he sells them quite at cost, but it's close. It's close. Yeah, very close. God bless him. So, alrighty, Jersey Finder, thanks a lot for being on the show. And I want to thank you for listening and watching, because without you, there is no me, there is no Wags, and there is no Hockey Podcast Network. I'm Tom Franklin, reminding you to not be a chump and always play to the whistle.
A reminder that you can follow Bluenotes on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram at Bluenotes Pod. I'm the voice of the Blues, Tom Calhoun. Jeremy Boyer, play us out.
You're listening to the Hockey Podcast Network, your home for hockey talk covering every team in the NHL. New episodes every Monday. Download at thehockeypodcastnetwork.com or wherever you get your podcasts from.